You are listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth, welcoming in the studio first timers from Fig Loans, Mr. Jeff Zoe and Miss Zara. Oh, I forgot it that fast. Zara, say your last name for me. Mohedan. Zara Mohedan. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
The pleasure's all mine. So, Fig Loans. I have never heard of Fig Loans. What is Fig Loans?
Yeah. So Fig Loans is a bridge between bad and good credit. So one of the problems that we saw today was that if you have bad credit, you need to get credit to build credit. But if you have bad credit, no one will give you credit. And so
that makes sense.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense, but it does make sense.
Right.
Unfortunately, it does make sense. Yeah.
So what we do is we actually extend emergency loans to people who can't get access to credit cards or bank loans today. And then we report credit on those, and we offer them additional credit building products so that in the future, when they run into a cash flow challenge or a tough situation, they're able to get access to more affordable products from local banks and credit unions.
So how would one fall into a situation where they would need Fig Loans? So what you just explained, Jeff, could you give me, and for the people out there listening, like an example, and then maybe they can compartmentalize it and say, oh, well, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So it starts earlier on, well before the situation. So say you're around 20 years old and you've gotten your first credit card. And you're not quite sure how credit works. And so you make a couple of mistakes and you end up having to close the card. And what that does to your credit score is it actually basically ruins it for up to 7 to 10 years. And so over the next, call it 5 or 6 years, you're figuring your life out, trying to get things together. And this whole time you're living outside of the traditional credit card world. And so what might happen is you might have a series of unfortunate events, right? You have a nice savings for you, but your car breaks down, and you happen to have to go in the ER for something really small. But next thing you know, you're out of cash, and you need to find someone that can lend you a little bit of money so that you can basically smooth out these big expenses that you had come in.
Wow. It sounds like me when my freshman year in college. that total scenario. You're listening to Access Houston. We're talking to Jeff Zoe and Zara Mohedan from Fig Loans. These payday loans, I find those personally. I feel that it's a trap when I hear the commercials for a payday loan. And then the interest rates that are brought on to these folks that may need, $500, and then they end up paying back like $900. What do you say to people out there who get involved with these payday loans?
So, unfortunately, for people that get involved in payday loans, it's not really a conscious choice. It's because they were in an emergency situation, like Jeff said, and they really were strapped for cash. And so what we try to do and help people that are in this payday debt trap or, fall into the cycle, because like you said, when people take out payday loans, they're like, oh, I can just pay it back within 2 weeks when I get my paycheck. But if you don't have $500 today, it's really egregious to kind of expect someone to have $560 in 2 weeks and pay all of their living expenses and keep the lights on and all of that. So that is what the consumer advocacy groups here in Houston and all throughout Texas call the debt trap. Because then, a nice payday lender, quote unquote, nice payday lender is saying, oh, well, you can just roll it over and don't worry about it. You can just keep rolling it over and rolling it over and rolling it over until you're in debt for a year to 2 years and it's totally shot your credit score. So what we at FIG have done is we have tried to create a lot of financial literacy and guides around this kind of predatory practice, because a lot of our customers ask us these exact questions, like, what is the debt trap? How can people do this? How is this legal? And we've tried to find financial literacy information for them, and it just isn't out there. So we decided to write it ourselves. And actually, something that we've written that we're pretty proud of is a how to compare loans guide, which you can find on our website. And it is a checklist, actually, of all the questions that you need to ask before you take out a payday loan, or any loan for that matter. So the first question is, how much does the loan cost? And this is like a total cost type thing, not just APR, but how long is the loan out for? How long do you need it out for, etc. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is how long is the loan for? Then step number 3 is, can I make the payments, or how often are the payments so they work with my schedule? And do I have some payment flexibility there? And then question number 4 is, are there extra fees? And question number 5, which is probably the most important, is, does it report credit? Because if you're paying payments and you're taking your paycheck to pay off this loan, you should be able to establish a good track record with the credit bureaus so that next time you're in an emergency situation, you can say, hey, I'm a good borrower, I just need like a credit score. So it establishes some line of responsibility there.
Yeah, and so I think one of the things that we were seeing with a lot of the payday lenders is that they do not report credit. And so in our guide, we do spend some time saying, hey, like having set up the credit reporting ourselves, we know that it's not that challenging for a lender to do.
Yeah.
And so when a lender tells you, we can't afford to report credit for you, we don't think that's very true because we've been able to do it ourselves.
Wow. You listen to Access Houston. I'm talking to Jeff Zoe and Zara Mohidan from Fig Loans. This is some great information because, I've always asked the question, and like anytime that I have financial people on the show, like, where do you all feel that the responsibility for financial literacy and financial education lies? Should that be something that we learn in school, in secondary school, in middle school and high school, as well as in college, especially the importance of credit? I mean, I know growing up, for me in high school, they taught us how to, balance a checkbook and all of that, but no one ever mentioned the importance of credit and how it will mess up your life for a very long time if you don't understand it. And someone like me who's, a fresh 18-year-old walking along the yard on campus, and you see a table that is set up nice. They've got T-shirts and stuffed animals and all type of things. Like, hey, would you like a free T-shirt or a stuffed animal? Of course, sure, I want a T-shirt. Here, sign this up. 2 weeks later, you got a $500 credit card in the mail. Oh, man. What? Oh, this must be from this. Oh, well, here's this book that I didn't get, and and here's some food, and maybe I'll just treat myself to, buying an album or something.
Yeah.
And then you're just making the minimum payments, not understanding interest rates and all of that, and that's not doing it, and then you're in over your head before you know it. So my question is, where do you all think that financial responsibility in education lies? Is it the school or should it be at home? Because I know within the Black community, a child was to stay in a child's place. I know when I, saw my parents or my grandparents sitting at the table, balancing the checkbook, paying the bills, hey, this is grown folks' business. Go sit down somewhere, I wish that wasn't the case, or, and a lot of people would probably be better off. So where do you all feel? I'm sorry that the question was so long.
No, it's totally interesting, totally accurate. So I think, like you were saying, those people who set up, nice plush stuffed animals and free T-shirts and all that stuff, the onus is really on them. Like, that is very untrustworthy to kind of bait people and then not really tell what's going on behind the practice of credit. So that's why, as we've grown, we've thought it's really important to supplement that with financial literacy materials, which is why we've kind of, really encouraged our customers to be discerning and to really think about the financial literacy aspect, or what is credit and what does this mean, and we really encourage it. So we actually take customers' questions and put it on our blog, and we really try to create an awareness of options. And we even say, sometimes a FIG loan isn't the best loan, which is why we've partnered with a lot of local Houston nonprofits to show our customers that these kind of products exist. And we and you can talk a bit more about our Houston story, because it's pretty nice.
Yeah, let's hear it, Jeff.
Yeah, so we actually started Fig Loans a little over 2 years now, 2 years ago. And the reason we started in Houston was we wanted to learn more about predatory lending. And so my co-founder and I, we were basically calling financial coaches up, cold calling them.
Mm-hmm.
Called about 100 different institutions, and the one that really responded to us was United Way Thrive in Greater Houston. And so we ended up coming down, meeting with the folks there. They introduced us to this entire network of nonprofits, local banks, even Houston Community College is part of it. And the entire network is dedicated to improving financial sustainability for everyone in Houston. And so how we started the FIG loan is actually we spent a lot of time with people from places like Family Houston or Bank on Houston, and then the folks at United Way. And they shared with us their experiences working with people who had fallen into the debt trap. And then we set out together to design this loan that could be more beneficial to the borrowers. And that's actually how the FIG loan started, and it's the same loan that we have today.
Nice. You're listening to Access Houston. We're talking to Jeff So and Zara Mahidi from FIG Loans. What do people need to do to get more information? They want to straighten out their credit, get their finances in order. What should one do to get in contact with you all?
So all of this information, all the guide and the checklist and everything that I spoke about before is actually available for free on our website. So if you guys want to check it out, you can go to www.figloans.com, and the guide is /guide. And
we also put together a small promotion. So the idea being that when people want to take the first step to improving their financial future, it's something that we want to encourage. And so we actually have a special URL for everyone who's listening to this show, www.figloans.com/radio1. And if you come and sign up through there, and we do end up granting you a loan, I'll give you $20 off your first payment.
So you were also telling me that signing up with you all also helps to wait, I'm sorry. What was it that you said, Zara?
Build credit, actually.
To build credit, okay.
Yeah. So I know we mentioned before that we report all of our all of our customers' payments to the credit bureaus, and this actually gives us some idea of where someone starts when they start with FIG in terms of credit score and where they end up throughout their lifetime with FIG. And we actually saw that the average FIG borrower, their credit score goes up 47 points after they take out a FIG loan.
Wow.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. That is some good information to know.
Yeah.
Log on to the website, get all of the information, get your finances together, get your credit right. And I thank you guys so much for coming through. This has been extremely educational. And congratulations on the company and everything that you're going to do to help people's lives much better when it comes to finances.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
I'm really
thank you.
excited.
And thank you for listening to Access Houston.
We'll be back with more Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.